Well, hello, this is Liz McLeod with an Auction Wave special report in the wake of day 2 of our Autumn Majestic auction, where we have featured an important collection of porcelain enamel license plates. You may have known that we did a video earlier this month on the mystery of lot 2483, the curved 1909 Massachusetts porcelain license plate. And we have a man with us today who knows the story, who knows the answer that we've been searching for ever since this plate first appeared. And he is the successful bidder on lot 2483. And we'd like you to introduce yourself, say hello to the camera.
My name's Alan Young, and I'm from Pepperell, Massachusetts, and I've been collecting porcelain license plates for about 35 years. So when I saw this lot come up, when I saw this auction featuring this and other early Massachusetts license plates, I noticed right away that the plate was curved. And I said, you know, that's more of a curve than you would see by a manufacture process, which might cause a plate to bow in the kiln, because these were all fired in kilns when they were made. Porcelain is basically glass, and then it's applied to the iron background of the base of the plate. So I had a supposition. I said, I looked at that curve and I said, you know what, that was curved like that specifically to go on something. And this is not a standard issue 1909 license plate, because they weren't made that way. So my supposition was that somebody ordered a special plate to go on their car from the company that made license plates. So when I got home from work that night, I went over to my document chest. I have a collection of original registration listing books going back to 1903 for Massachusetts. And I surmised that it might have been on a Stanley steamer. So I got home from work, I opened up my document chest, and I pulled out my 1909 registration listing book, and lo and behold, sure enough, that plate, 9471 in 1909, was registered to William H. Barney, and he was on Aden Street in Holyoke, and the plate was registered to a 10 horsepower Stanley. 10 horsepower Stanley steamer. So going back to the original video that Liz shot several weeks ago, the supposition was that it fit on a Stanley, but they held this up to the curved hood, which went around the boiler. I think it was on, maybe, was that a 30
That
horsepower?
was a 30 horsepower,
Okay.
1908 Stanley.
And the gentleman, was that at the Owl's Head
That
Museum?
was out at Owl's Head, yes.
Yeah, and they said, well, the radius of the curve is such that it really doesn't fit on the 30 horsepower. And the gentleman there said, perhaps it was on a lower horsepower Stanley with a smaller, tighter radius on the hood. And sure enough, 10 horsepower Stanley, so that fits. But now that leaves us with two other things. There's one thing that nobody had called out about this plate previously, and that's the fact that this 1909 mass plate does not have a white border,
Right.
all the way around. And when I saw that to me right away, that was a red flag that this was not a standard issue plate. And I looked at the back, and there's no maker's mark on the back. Well, all the standard issue 1909 mass plates were made by Baltimore Enamel and Novelty Company in Baltimore, Maryland. And they had a big oval right in the center of the plate, maker's mark on the back. This one doesn't have that. The style of this back and the fact that there's no border is reminiscent of the plates that were made by another company out in Pennsylvania, Ingram Richardson Company in Beaver Falls. So my supposition, and this is unfounded because I can't look this up in a book. I think whoever received this number and the original plate from the Massachusetts Highway Commission decided to order something that would better fit the car, and they reached out to the company that had the contract the previous year in 1908, which was Ingram Richardson, and had them make it, and they were willing to do it. Maybe Baltimore Enamel and Novelty wouldn't take a one-off order from an individual, but I believe this was made by Ingram Richardson in Beaver Falls. So, that's the rest of the story.
Well, we are very happy that you have acquired this plate, and we hope that it has a pride of place in your collection.
And it certainly will, and it will be available for purchase at my estate sale.
Ah.
And I hope that's an awfully long time from now.
Now,